Hello, hello, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XI. So today, no clear-cut plan, but we're going to start off with fighting Alexander High Seer Battlefields. But, a little catch, a little twist, a little good, is that we're going to do it on difficult. I have learned that I am capable, not every time, mind you, there are some caveats to this, but I am capable of soloing Alexander's high tier battlefield with trusts on warrior, and we are only a master level 12 warrior now, and we're still rocking pretty much the same gear we've had because gearing it really slows down. Like, at this point, we have to start saving up millions and millions of gil. We have to start, grinding sortie incessantly. In addition to that, we have to go back to Abyssia at some point and actually collect all of our Empyrean armor in its base form, and then upgrade it to like its +1 in its original Abyssia era +1 sort of deal. And yeah, so there's that. As far as Alexander and the strategy form goes, basically it's kind of one of those things like, oh, 5-head, I should have just thought to do this anyway. But basically, I looked into it a little bit more, and occasional skill chains on him won't get us killed. So we don't need to worry about that too much. We still don't want Kultada to be in front though, or Farius Coffin. But we got Farius Coffin because he's our only white mage trust we've got that won't try to do debuffs. We can't debuff him. No debuffing. Debuffing not allowed. And we put Celtus at the back of the formation because he can do rejuvenation and sometimes give Farius Coffin MP, so that Farius Coffin can give us haste. Monburo will take care of most of the healing. And we're in here on Dark Knight subjob because the name of the game is Beat Fight Timer. It will take us roughly 22, maybe up to 25 minutes to kill this as we are. And that's if we don't die. So the plan is more or less, we're using Dark Knight subjob, if you couldn't tell. And the reason for it is so that we can alternate Berserk and Last Resort. Berserk and Last Resort can actually also be stacked for even more attack power. But the reason we don't want to stack them right away is because occasionally Alexander can do something that wipes all of your buffs. So ideally we actually want them staggered so that we can just maintain attack up for more of the fight. Obviously, since it comes from subjob, Last Resort is much weaker than Berserk at only +15% attack rather than +25. Not to mention the job gifts we get for being a Master Warrior. But like this, we should be cruising to keep our Savage Blades roughly over 10,000 damage, almost no matter what. And TB gain's not really a problem. Now, and it gets dicey. If we get under like 1200 HP, and for some reason Monburo like freezes up or anything, we might consider trying to use Sanguine Blade. I actually have a fairly appreciable magic damage set up for Warrior. It's far from perfect. It doesn't involve any Nyame yet, because I don't have a group for Odyssey. But someday it will, and the premise is the same. Basically, we got the I-119 gear that comes from Eska that you can just get through Domain Invasion for 800 points. The Odyssean helmet, gauntlets, greaves, and leggings. And and they will. Or we've augmented them to have over 25 magic attack bonus on each piece. We got 30 on a couple of them. And ideally, strength or mind attribute, as well as weapon skill damage plus. And those are for, actually mainly for Cloud Splitter. I want to make a Cloud Splitter set so that we can maybe convince some crazy people to take us or go with us to Peach Power. Dicey here. No, okay, good. So like, if it gets dicey, if you get below 1200 HP, you just want to swap over to your magic set and Sanguine Blade. And generally with the magic set I've got, the Sanguine Blade will only do like 1200 to 2000 damage, which that's nothing to sneeze at. But more importantly, because it does so much damage, the drain will basically effectively be a full heal, and that can save us. So. Berserk just wore off. Bada bing, bada boom. The last resort goes on. And, I mean, Darkness Sub also gives us Arcana Killer. I don't think that Alexander counts as Arcana. I think he counts as a super being. So I don't think we're ever going to see any intimidation procs, but, we might. Now, occasionally, when you get the skill chains on him, he sometimes ignores them. He sometimes doesn't. I mean, this is difficult, so he probably reacts to them more on very difficult. But for us, here on difficult, he sometimes doesn't react to them at all. He just sort of just keeps going with whatever he's doing. Or maybe I mistake how he reacts. I don't really fully understand his reactions. If you do, viewer, please tell me. But more or less, sometimes when he skill chains, he'll use this thing called Void of Repentance, and that's like the bad thing he'll do. It inflicts like accuracy down, magic accuracy down, stun. Stun's low duration. Mild damage to everybody as well, and that's about it really. Come on, Mom Bureau, put the guard drink back up. Come on, man. Thank you. Yeah, even though he's not technically Arcana, I like to put it out there. I mean, he is a robot. I mean, he should be considered Arcana, but Final Fantasy XI logic. Okay, so we got less than a minute left on Last Resort. And this is kind of like where I like to actually stack them. It's not exactly 100% advisable, especially for HP is low. But Alexander's physical attacks, they don't seem to really increase in intensity with them both stacked. But like I said, you don't want to actually like directly overlap them because I didn't put on my magic set. I panicked. You don't want to directly overlap them, like, you know, use them back to back, because like I said, he can strip our buffs. And he's guaranteed on difficult to strip our buffs around 50%. At 50%, he can strip our buffs, and he can sometimes use Gospel Lost. Although, whenever he does that at 50%, for whatever reason, it doesn't act like a big heal, or like it doesn't like heal nearly as much as it does if you trigger it on purpose, or like with you know, like by failing mechanic. See, there's the buff strip, right? You know, maybe if I were smarter, I would have I would have, that time, instead of using Berserk first, I would have just waited for Last Resort and have Last Resort got stripped off, and then had Berserk go up next, but whatever. We're on track to win. We're 9 minutes in, we're halfway down. But it could turn around. I've seen it turn around very, very fast on me by underestimating Alexander's damage potential. He kind of hits like a wet noodle for the most part, but when you swap gear, right, there is actually a split second where the game reads your gear as not on. And you might hear people talk about getting caught in the wrong set or getting caught between gear sets. And, dude, bro just missed us with Radiant Sacrifice. I didn't even know that could miss. That thing's subject to a fucking physical accuracy check? Are you serious? I mean, I'll take it, but, and we don't have Thief Sub, and that kind of sucks, but the drop rate is so much higher on difficult, very difficult, that it's actually a higher drop rate even without Thief Sub than if we went Thief main to like easy, right? Because my Thief is geared well enough that I can just do easy of this with like Treasure Hunter 8, and I've seen it build. I've managed to build it to Treasure Hunter like 12 or. Now, I've been using my 1 hours on Alexander here, but in the past I've only used them at the start of the fight, and I could have sworn I read that he, like, if he notices superpower moves be used, he will use perfect defense. So I don't know if, like, we should, but we're gonna. And it's not going to speed the fight up that much, but I mean, like, every little bit helps. Like, the first time I tried this, I actually timed out because I was being a big chicken wuss. And I didn't want to swap out of my gear sets. Ooh, we're going to get Void of Repentance. You might be wondering how that skill chain happened. Basically, whenever Celtus uses Rejuvenation, it heals HP, MP, and TP. And so suddenly, various Coffin and Kotada will have built TP from all the times he's used it. And they'll both weapon skill, and Celtus will also weapon skill. So, that's the whole thing. Okay, we're going to hold off on Aggressor and Berserk, because we don't really need the accuracy, and I'm pretty sure around 25% Alexander's gonna buff wipe again, so we're just gonna hold that back so that whenever he buff wipes we can just put an attack buff right back up. Yeah, my other issue when I came in here and first tried it on difficult was I was scared to use Celtus because I was afraid that the skill chains were going to trigger they were going to trigger Gospel of the Lost. See, there's that buff wipe I was talking about. I don't know if that's a hate reset or anything, but I do like to provoke after it. Guard drink, please. Guard drink, please. Get you my kingdom for a guard drink. Okay, that's called Percent Blade. Better safe than sorry. Fucking guard drink, please. I really wish donating to Monburo made his I really wish it made his healing potions AoE as well. I mean, that would be kind of OP, but at the same time, like, he's already such a really good trust. Like, might as well let him have the whole kit-caboodle. Like, even if it just made one of his max potions, like, and it was on like a timer or something, like, every so often he could like throw out an AoE heal or something, you know, like every minute or every like 2 minutes or something. Yeah, first time I beat this, I managed to do it in about 22 minutes. So, there was some change. It was like 22 minutes and like 13 seconds or something. And that was counting the prep time too, like the Something of the Trust and however long it took me to walk on down. But I had like my second or third run. I think it was my third run. I got below 1400 and I just like, I didn't put on my damage taken set. I was just like, oh, whatever, my trust will, they'll get me, you know, they'll get me. And Alexander, like, I swapped into my weapon skill set, and right as I swapped into my weapon skill set, he crit me with an auto attack, and then he shot me with Radiant Sacrament. The auto attack did 608 damage, and the Radiant Sacrament did 721, and I died, and it sucked. That's life sometimes, I suppose. Also, I feel like sometimes when the incidental skill chains happen, that his like damage resistance goes down, and I don't think that's supposed to be the case, or I don't know what's actually causing that. When like he seems to take slightly more damage for a bit. It could just be like, I guess, Kultada getting better chaos roll result, or maybe just like, I don't know, maybe like certain moves of Alexander's do cause him to take more damage after he does them or something. Like 2 more Savage Blades, and we'll stick the Lucky Egg on. I don't want to stick the Lucky Egg on right away because our other bow contributes to our damage as well as the accuracy of our Sanguine Blades. So That's the whole thing. Looks like we're gonna come in like right around the 20-minute mark. You know what? Actually, let's just go ahead and throw on that lucky egg. Get Treasure Hunter 1 going. It's not gonna, you know, it's probably not gonna actually do the thing for us, but might as well try, you know. Give it all we've got, baby. 20,000. Aww. Not even one of the other Sacro ones. Like, you know, we've had the shield forever from, Amantrove. I know you did get back into doing Amantrove, but I'm definitely not going to do it on Warrior anymore because the chance of getting killed is so high. But earlier in the night, I did actually get one piece of Sacro gear, and it's the Sacro Gorget. And that's only for Paladin and Rune Fencer, and it's a tanking piece that's intended for them beefing up their, you know, survivability, cure potency, regen potency. Regen potency is for Rune Fencer. Rune Fencer gets up to, I think, regen 4. And cure potency is for Paladin, because Paladin gets up to cure 4. Of course, Rune Fencer usually subs Blue Mage, and Wild Carrot, and Magic Fruit are both modified by cure potency as well, so. But yeah. Yeah, like, that's pretty cool. On difficult, we get these parcels and cases. It's way more Rima material for us. And right now, these are selling for pretty pennies. Like, I think the stacks of Riftbone Bolters are going for over 600,000 gil. And a stack of Betets is going for like 1 million. Pretty cool. And I make it a habit while spamming these high-tier battlefields to just go back and grab the what you call it? The key item again if I can. Because that way, even if I don't feel like doing, or I'm not gonna do the rest of the fight or whatever, or you know, like, it costs, you know, 10 merit points. Like, we could potentially do this 3 more times. Obviously, I already did a video where I spammed it, right? So like, this was just to show you that, oh yeah, I can beat it on the higher difficulty. I realized I could, but yeah, not really that impressive. There's people nowadays that I think even before Master Levels came out were like soloing it on like Monk with like the Empyrean Fists or something. Crazy like that. But very difficult. But, you know, I think it was the kind of thing that like came down to the wire or something. Of course, I could be wrong about that. I don't fucking know. It might have not existed as a high tier battlefield until after Master Level. Like this is like the era of the game where like I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. As for the rest of this video, let's go to Rulu Gardens real quick. So, I don't have super strong feelings about Empyrean weapons anymore. apparently, for the most part, they're considered pretty dang good if you upgrade them all the way. But their upgrade process is a super big pain in the ass. But, I don't know, I never really went over how to start that. And, honestly, I don't remember which weapon I'm supposed to pick. I know it's not the -1s. It's probably, rather than the weapon, it's probably the trial number. I should probably look this up. Also, excuse me for burping. Let's see. The one problem with trying to show this off is I don't know which one I'd want to work on. Most people, basically, for the most part, it's like hand-to-hand, great sword, great axe, great katana, and I think gun and harp are all considered to still be good, like really good, like worthwhile to do. But the process, more or less, is you just pick up one of these weapons, like say the break blade, or the side sword, or the lumberjack, and you pick the right trial. And the trials that you pick, they have you go and kill notorious monsters that are out in the overworld multiple times. So, like, and that's before you even get to the Abyssea ones, where you have to farm key items to spawn the NMs and kill them until you get 50 and 75 of their respective items. And that's the part that takes the longest because it has no tie-in to Gil. It's only tied into your playtime. And like how lucky you get with the notorious monster spawning and all that. It's some of these notorious monsters they have for these are really quite annoying. I said for a while I wanted to make a Rongo Miant, which is the spear for Dragoon. But apparently the Empyrean Aftermath doesn't work on jumps. And its weapon skill is considered lackluster for some reason. And it's only considered like the third best polearm in the game once fully upgraded. And the best polearms in the game are like literally, it's the... before barring, okay, so caveat for all any weapons we work on, the prime weapons from Sortie that require millions and millions of Gallimaufry, and therefore months and months of playtime, and ideally a static, and if not a static, then it's going to take like a year or two of playtime to get a actually usable outside of Sortie prime weapon. But like the stage 4 and 5 prime weapons are actually the strongest weapons of each type in the entire game. There's like no questioning it. For damage dealing purposes, they are the strongest. And Empyreans, like, they were brought on the scene with an aftermath that causes them to deal double damage. And nowadays it causes them to deal triple damage. And the level 3 version of the aftermath makes it like 50% chance. So these weapons were made just to do raw damage. And but because of how finicky 11 is, they don't all just blow all the other weapons away. There was a time when they did. In the Abyssea era, when the second Abyssea expansion came out, that was when they actually got their weapon skills and their aftermaths. And the thing most people focused on was the weapon skills, because you could also get those from Walk of Echoes. But the aftermath is actually what made these like really, really, really insanely powerful. Like cemented it. Like they were bringing greater weapon skill damage and greater auto attack damage to the table. And but I guess with primes out now, like primes are just so much better, because primes are essentially, they're like relics on steroids. They have the hidden damage proc effect from relics, but they also have a damage limit plus aftermath, which is fully intended for in-game situation, but basically it just means their auto attacks can always do more damage once they get their aftermath going. And apparently their weapon skills, it's the same deal as when Empyreans first came out. Like the prime weapon skills are so much stronger than everything else that like Empyreans are just complete shit. And so like hand-to-hand would be a good choice. Dagger would be an okay choice. Sword apparently sucks now. Greatsword is really good, but mainly it's for only Dark Knight and Paladin can use it, and it's mainly for Dark Knight only. And since we already have access to the weapon skill, and because we already have a Ragnarok, like this thing shits on Ragnarok, it really does. But I mean, like, not by like as much as people would want you to believe. So it's like, I'm just saying it's less impactful for us to like focus on getting that. Although it is a really fucking cool sword. This is the single-handed axe, and from what I understand, it's like its sole purpose is to boost Cloud Splitter numbers as high as possible for Warrior while being a decent weapon. And it's just like, oh joy, we made a unique axe that, you know, took millions upon millions and hundreds of hours to make, and oh yeah, okay, it's, you know, it's for niche use. The Great Axe, like I said, I've seen in Domain Invasion. I saw a warrior with the Aftermath 3-up and his Empyrean armor set bonus proc do 16,000 damage auto attack with that. Very, very tempting on that premise alone. But I don't know, like, it's weird to do that again, because on my main character Vire back in the day, I did the Empyrean Great Axe, and my friends at the time that I played with a lot, because at one time I did have friends, and I did have a group, and we did do shit together, and we did a lot of shit together. We got a lot of shit done. And during the Abyssea era, we split off from our Link Shell, and we did our own deal, because they were still trying to run a points system like it was Sky or Sea, where, you know, it could be months before you got a drop, or even a chance to lot at a drop. So it made sense to have points, because, you know, drops were a lot fewer and far in between. But in Abyssea, you know, it's like crack cocaine. Here's all the drops you want. But they wanted to... The leader, basically, he just wanted, like, his greed got the better of him. He had built up so many points over the years because he had everything he needed from endgame while running the Link Shell, that his points just were up and up and up and up and up. And we literally reached a point where, like, only him and a couple of the other officers could even lot shit anymore, and it was just kind of like, bro, I'm not coming to an event to just farm shit for you. Like, we got an entire other Link Shell here, and like... So me and my buds, we just took off, and I told that story, I'm sure, before. But we went off, we made our own Empyreans, and like my blue mage friend, he made he played Paladin, Blue Mage, and Beastmaster, and he made the All Mace, the one-handed sword. My friend Faya made the harp and the monk hand, and I made the great axe. And my main character has a level 90 version of the great axe, and it's just like it's a really good weapon. And if I hadn't already made it like before, I would like in a heartbeat just take this lumberjack and go ahead and start. But I don't know, like, From what I understand, the scythe is somewhat held back by the weapon skill Quietus. Not because Quietus is a terrible weapon skill, it's just that it only really shines versus high-level targets that have a lot of defense, because its whole shtick is the amount of TP you execute the weapon skill with causes it to ignore defense. Which I guess you could think of as like a defense down effect on the weapon skill, only for the weapon skill, I guess. It's a really cool looking weapon skill, pretty badass weapon skill. But the scythe itself looks like it's been memed as looking like a colibri beak. And I think it looks okay, it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really do it for me. What's this? Oh, the polearm, okay. I don't know how the katana stacks up anymore. I've heard Blade High is no longer considered the bee's knees. Like, it's all about, like, Ninja these days is all about getting TP fast enough to self-skill chain and then magic bursting with a ninjutsu setup. Ninja can actually pull really respectable numbers through skill chaining and magic bursting. They've kind of lost their way in the world in a way. Not a lot of people play it. Not saying it's bad by any means, but a lot of people just don't. Like, Ninja's kind of fallen out of use. Great Katana is really powerful, and the awkward thing about the Great Katana is I also made a Great Katana back in the day. Not on my main character, but on my other mule character, Dumakulum. He has a level 85 Massive Moon that I made specifically to be a damage dealer, to out-damage my ex-girlfriend and the other guy we did Mule Burrows with. And it's a really cool looking katana, great katana, and I would love to have it again. But we are kind of working on a mythic, and like we already have Tachifudo. So it's a lot less like impactful for us, I guess. I mean, it's probably still a really fucking good pick. It kind of solves the aftermath. Raising auto attack damage kind of solves one of Samurai's weaknesses, and that their auto attacks are kind of dog shit, and I've always been kind of dog shit. But I don't know. Club is out of the question. Staff is out of the question. Bow has a really cool weapon skill, and a really cool name, and a really cool lore. It's like a black bow. And apparently it has some situations where it's the best weapon in the game. But, for like specific fights. But that's like very, very, very niche. Very, very, very much a thing where people like look for every instance they could have that it could be useful. So it's also out of the question. Gun is kind of interesting. It's a strong contender. Ranger and Corsair. It's you know, the aftermath only affects ranged attacks. So like Savage Blade, Corsair is not affected, but like if you have to shoot, if you've got a strategy where you got to shoot, it's like the best option for Corsair. And then for Ranger, it's a pretty strong option too. And then obviously you get a bullet dispenser for your other guns to have really good bullets. But I don't really feel strongly about playing Ranger. And even Corsair is like, I love Corsair. I fucking love Corsair. But it's kind of fallen to the wayside for me a little bit, since I don't have like a group of people to play with. And even if I did, they would just be like, lol, you're a +5 roll core, you suck. You know, like, people don't like to accept anything but the best. It makes sense, but it's kind of shitty for anyone progressing. So I don't know. I mean, Puppet Master can also use the hand-to-hands, but I don't really have a strong affinity for it. And Monk, I kind of like, I don't hate the idea, but I hear all the time that these are like less impressive than they're made out to be or something. The dagger, like, it's really cool and tied to a really cool weapon skill, but it's also really dumb looking. It looks like a fucking cake spatula. And I just, like, any of these that look dumb, I kind of don't want. The sword looks cool, but apparently this sword is just, like, not good because of Savage Blade and because of Expiation and because of the jobs that are on it. They want, like, Paladin wants its Mythic sword or even the Relic sword over this, supposedly. Red Mage wants the Dynamis Divergence sword or the Nageling. Blue Mage wants the Nageling or the Mythic Blue Mage sword Tizona. And this Empyrean sword is just sort of fallen to the wayside. Great sword, once again, it'd be a really good choice. It's just not, it's not as impactful for us. I wish I had as strong a feeling towards Dragoon as I did when I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the Empyrean spear, you know, King Arthur, because it's a King Arthur reference, but I just really don't know. I don't know. I mean, we are like a Master Level Warrior, and I guess it, like, I don't know. I guess we could just do, you know, it's not like we can only do one, right? Like, we can always do more. There's really no strong, actual, real strong commitment to it until we have to get to the steps that really require a Gil anyway. So. Yeah, so we take, I believe it's trial. Trial 364. All you need to know, view details. Defeat a set number of monsters under the prescribed conditions. Who Maju the Torrent kills 3. Target item must be equipped. Area Gideus. Okay. Sure thing. Now, is that the fucking Beast Signa in him? Or Monster Signa? Yep, that's the Monster Signa in him. It's fucking level 17 Notorious Monster. We gotta kill it 3 times. It's a lottery spawn off of Yagudo Mendicant. And we might actually run into other people camping it. Like, people camp these Empyreans. They really do. And, yeah. I don't know how much I'll really want to focus on like building the Empyrean, because, like, you know, it's gonna be so long before we can actually make it worthwhile, You know, like, even once we complete all of the Abyssia stage, we then need 1,500 heavy metal plates, which the player base absolutely price gouges the shit out of. And then the simple fact is that after that, you need like 300, I think it's 300, Rift Dross or Rift Cinder or something. It's this item that only comes out of like Void Watch and maybe a few other places in very small amounts. But suppose people consider that the easy step because it's 5 times less than the heavy metal plates. But it all, back in the day, it all sounded like bullshit to me, and that's why back on my main character, my Ukon Visara is only level 90. Like, I never, like, whenever it came in the old days, and even now, when it comes to Gil and shit, I just do not, like, I don't, like, I'm a slave to money in real life already, right? Like, I gotta get up, go to a job every day, and earn money, and, you know, deal with, you know, my betters in real life, you know, talking down and being like, oh yeah, you're just a piece of shit gamer nerd, you don't, you know, try in life hard enough, you're not successful because you're a nerd, you know, and shit like that. Like, you know, it's just like, I make decent money. I'm salaried, you know, I have a salary. I'm not like rich, but, you know, still considered a loser. It's just like, okay. I totally want to feel like that in my video game, you know, where I mean, like, I've never, like, people always say video games are escapism. And for me, I don't know, they always seem more just like, you know, stories. Like, yes, like, I guess you're getting away from real life for a bit, but, like, you know, you always get, like, if you sit down and play a game for 8 hours, you're going to have to pee, you're going to have to eat, you know, you're probably going to get a little bit bored of exactly what you're doing, so you're probably going to listen to some music. Like, with the social aspect of MMOs, you know, you talk to people, you chat with people in the text, you know, you get in voice chat on, like, Ventrilo or TeamSpeak or Discord nowadays. Like, you know, like, as much of as an escape as it is, you know, it's still just part of reality. Like, yeah, like, it is much a part of reality as like any game. Oh look, did we just get this? Like, we just get one kill right off the bat and like, get addicted to building the Empyrean. Cool. Awesome. Neat. So, there's that. Also, I guess you might have noticed my mask is different. It's got a horn. We picked up the Valorous mask from Domain Invasion. We have a TP charging set now. The Valorous mask has regain +3 just naturally. So that with the Republican Platinum Medal and the Carrier Ring, it's regain +10. And it's not like super game changing, but whenever we're just running around like sortie and stuff, we just throw it on, get TP. It's pretty great. But yeah, I'll probably handle my Empyrean NMs off camera. Although I guess it'll give me something to do like real quick if I can't think of something to do. I can just always be like, oh yeah, I still need, you know, 6 kills on Raptor Rava or whatever the fuck, and, you know, throw the shit on and go. Other thing we could do, I guess we could go check it's been forever since I've worked on my Mythic at all. And I don't want to make this a long video, but I was thinking about doing recordings related to that. I don't have any illusions that I'm going to like farm all the Alexandrite, you know, like across like 5 recordings or some shit. And I already showed off like the salvage zones and the salvage 2 zones, I was pretty sure, so I don't need to show those off. But I still need 150,000 Nyzul Isle tokens. And I know that the ideal job to do that on is Blue Mage. And I was figuring, well, maybe I can show that off. Maybe I can do that. It's always crazy to me though, like, as good as we are at this game, there's just so many people who are better, and they're partially better just because of how long they never gave up playing. Because a lot of your power, you know, it's tied to this long-term gear that you get. And, okay, it looks like these Galcus got the best deal. Wonder if they're RMT Galcus. Let's just, we haven't bought any in a while. Let's just buy till we have... yeah, I'll take it. We'll go under 5 mil. Oh, wait, okay, our inventory's full, I guess. Whatever. Okay, so 3 stacks Alexandrite. Little... well, it's like 1% of the Alexandrite. Boom. He still needs 24,986 more shinies. Yay! You know, for shits and giggles, actually, since we're on Warrior, and even though I could just end the video here since it's practically at an hour, and like, at this point it's just trivial ass drippings, like, we could, like, Master Level Warrior has options, like, we're not terrible for like soloing old content, and yeah, we just slap on Red Mage sub job and pretend like we're good, you know. And let's see. Can you give me sanction? You sure can, you sexy bitch. Give me increased meal duration. Alright. And this will actually be, I guess, a good comparison to what we'd like wind up doing otherwise or something. I don't know. I think our defense is going to be capped. So we might as well go with the Meva food, the Popotos con queso. Can't ever go wrong with 50 more Meva. Which I think we get. I mean, I don't know if we have like a base magic evasion or if literally our magic evasion only comes from gear. I'm pretty sure it only comes from gear. So we got like what? 110, that's 122. 170, 256, 342, and that food gives 10%. So, okay, so we actually just gained 34 Meva. So we don't have a lot of Meva. That's another reason I want the Sacro Breastplate. I think it has 129 Meva. But let's go... You know, let's get back into working on our Mythic, right? Like, if anything, like, I might never... The gil requirement for the Mythic is going to be so insane once we actually get it to item level, because it's going to require 10,000 Beitetsu. And and 10,000 Baitetsu, you know, like if 100 Baitetsu goes for 1 million, you know, you need 100 stacks. So 100 times 10 mil, or 100 times a million, you know, 100 million gil just to make it at the same level as our Ragnarok, more or less. Rough stuff, rough stuff. Okay, so I don't know how the new one works for tokens or anything, so I just go with the old one. Because the whole point of farming tokens is to just like you climb the floor sets, as many floor sets as possible, as many floors as possible to get, you know, tokens. And obviously we're still going to run into shit like lamps, and that'll be fucking awful. By the way, if you just found my channel like a while back and you've only watched like the last like few or like the newest videos, if you go back in the Final Fantasy XI Let's Play list, you can actually find when my character was level 75 restricted by choice. I actually soloed all of Nyzul Isle, standard Nyzul Isle on Red Mage, and it was really cool and really fun to do. But at the same time, it actually kind of left me crippled for tokens. I kind of wish, like, after, in hindsight, I was just like, yeah, I probably should have just gotten to level 99 and done it at 99 so that I never wasted tokens. But, you know, at the time, I wasn't actually completely on board with starting a Mythic. And now that I'm 5,000 Alexandrites, well, 5,014 Alexandrites deep, you know, I might as well give it the old college try, you know. And so, like, Blue Mage, as far as I'm aware, is just like the bee's knees for doing this. Because you just run through, you know, if I'm level 119, and you spam, what is it, Subduction. It's like a 28 MP spell, and it kills everything around you, basically. Yeah, we don't have enough tokens, do we? Oh, we do have enough tokens. Fuck. Interesting. Okay, well, now we've locked ourselves in, and we gotta succeed. So, but of course, we're, we don't have composure like this, so we're kind of like, I don't know. It's more like we're pantomiming being a red mage, I guess. But we do have haste and sneak and invisible and Dia, so it shouldn't be too terribly bad. Now, I think we actually also finally have a use for my Malignance sword. The oh, I did things in a stupid order, huh? The Malignance sword, it has really high base damage and really good defensive stats and refresh, and also status element resistance. So it's just like this perfect sword for paladin and tanking, and like even decent for damage and really good accuracy. And since all this stuff in here is just gonna be, you know, easy peasy lemon squeezy, like, look at that, even our ranged attack with Oler is the dope show. While we're at it, let's put on our TP gaining set. Because what we can do, since we're so strong now, like, what we can do is when we get to a floor that's kill all enemies or whatever, we can just run through, aggro everything, and like kill it with Circle Blade or with Fell Cleave or whatever. And I started on the high floor because the higher you start, like, yeah, you have to pay a token cost, but the greater your potential token reward will be. And the way most people do this, from what I understand these days, is they have dual box characters. And on dual box character, they have one character, you know, like the tokens don't matter on, and they just they use that as like a sacrificial lamb, more or less. They pay the tokens, and then if the run fails, it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters a little bit, because obviously they can't pay for tokens forever if they don't win. But, like, the character whose mythic they're working on, you know, they only progress. There's no backpedaling or cost to them or anything like that, so... If you could just aggro me, that'd be great. Okay, I think we can stop and fight. Hello. Goodbye. I think we de-aggroed from some of the Draugrs, which is not cool because, I mean, come on. The one bad thing about being War/Red Mage is we don't have the radar that shows us nearby enemies with red dots. I don't remember which jobs get that by default. I think it's like Ninja, Ranger, maybe Thief, Beastmaster, maybe Puppet Master. This was a kill-all floor, right? Like, I don't know what else we're missing. Guess it might have been more effective to come like, oh, Tyasai Jin, you gonna drop me a scroll of refresh? Okay, we gotta open that and see if it's a question mark scroll. Headpiece. Oh, don't give me the fake optical hat that's -10 in all the accuracies. You slut. I wanted a scroll of refresh. Scooby-Doo! Travel to the next floor. Lamps? 5 order lamps? Take 20 minutes? Lamps! Oh, it's lamps. I can always sense when I'm gonna get lamps, I tell you. It'd be cool if it just wound up being like registration or something. My laptop's having a freak out. I need to plug it in. Activate the lamp. It's same time. Timmy. Timmy. We're not gonna make it. No, we ain't gonna make it. We're not gonna make it anymore. Magic flagon. Yeah, I also don't think we can see the green dots that signify lamps either. Oh, no, we can see them. Okay, good. Press the lamp, press the lamp, press the lamp. It sucks. Okay, it's actually a pretty small floor, maybe. Yay, we did it, Reddit. It was same time. But now it will be followed by a consecutive lamp floor that'll be order. It'll be 5 order lamps, and it'll take us the rest of the run. Oh, okay. Ooh, hello. Don't mind if I do. Scooby-Dooby-Doo! Link with that lizard. Yeah, I knew you would, you slut. What I haven't seen in a good while. Vorpal Blade. Vorpal Blade used to be one of my favorite weapon skills of all time. I mean, it still is, in all honesty, but, like, I got kicked out of parties to have my sword skilled up. Oh, hey, look, we got Hydra. He's a stupid bitch. Whoop-de-loop and pull, and our shoes are looking cool. Now, remember how we didn't get any Nyzul armor at all back in the day? Like, if you've been watching the Let's Play, we didn't get any Nyzul armor when we did all these bosses from any of the floors. Hey, look, we still aren't getting any armor. That's a Christmas miracle. Oh, I'm just kidding. Let's throw that stuff away. Bruh, I didn't even kill the, Okay, so normally we would just leave. But, nah. Nah, we're here for tokens, you see. And for tokens, I'm gonna kill this more camp because they move really slowly. Did we not get aggro? Like, are we like too high level to aggro these things for some reason? Okay. Level difference. I actually accidentally used it. I was grinding capacity points / master levels earlier, and I accidentally used Imperial Arrow. And Imperial Arrow is fusion, and that means you can make self-light with it if you can actually get it to land with Savage Blade. And that's like the hidden power level of the all-air bow, is that if you actually make a ranged accuracy setup that can actually get your accuracy within like 100 accuracy of the target's evasion, then you can actually probably land Imperial Arrow accurately enough to actually use it as a skill chain opener, like Sekinoki and stuff like that. And I did just that earlier. I shot an Apex Foxhound with Imperial Arrow, and it landed, and it did like 6,000. And then I was just like, holy shit, I can fuck. I'll just do Savage Blade now. And I did Savage Blade, and Savage Blade did 67,000 damage with an 88,000 damage skill chain, and the Foxhound exploded, and I was just like, I wanted to replicate it, so I just kept trying to land Imperial Arrow again, and while actually trying to use it, I could just not get it. Like, I just could not get... Yeah, because it was a fluke. Like, I had accidentally... Avoid discovery. Oh, man. Now, see, there's a loophole in this, and that is... If we shoot the gear with a bow, then before it aggroes us, it counts as not being discovered, which is hilarious to me. So like, yeah. Ballin'. I think we've probably got about half our time limit left. Which means we could still get dicked over by 5 order lamps. Aw, yeah. Now, if I were on Blue Mage, I think I would probably make my goal of floors at a minimum. I would make it 10. Because I think that's probably super duper realistic for Blue Mage to achieve. I'm sure there's Blue Mage still always out there who've like done like 20 floors in a single run, no problem. I just laugh about Mythic tokens all the way to the bank. However, I am not currently on Blue Mage, and even if I were on Blue Mage, I think that it might be over. You probably get still get fucked by lamps, right? Like, there's no way to just not get fucked by lamps. It just doesn't happen. Like, lamps are a thing, and they exist, and all your combat strength means nothing against them. You gotta use your brain. You gotta commit to the idea. You gotta spook your wife. I done did lose track of if that kicker we just killed was the I don't think so. Okay. This is a family floor, and there could be up to 5 of them. We've killed 3, so at most there's 2 left. Yeah, Nyzul had a really good design. Because, like, these first floors, right, like, you notice we looped back and now we're on single-digit floors. But, effectively, it's like we're actually, you know, on, like, floor 103 or whatever. And so the fact that we started on 95 or 96 is gonna it's gonna reflect in our token reward whenever we do exit. Okay. There is a kicker around here that we are missing. But like I thought, wait, what? Didn't I kill you? Does he just like stand here like a fucking bump on a log and somehow get completely missed? That must be what happened. Just for that, get shot. And that's what, like the 8th floor we've completed? It would be real baller if we actually got 10 floors completed solo on Warrior of all things. Although it's probably still not considered impressive by today's standards. Lamps? Oh. Magic flagon. Magic flagon. Oh, it's the magic flagon. Shoot it, baby. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you get the idea, right? Like, the more floors we complete, the more tokens we'll get. The higher up we start, the more tokens we'll get. Although, depending on how you want to look at it, right? Like, if you just started from floor 0, there would be no token cost. And, so, like, just do that. 5 head. Yeah. Okay, 10 minutes Earth time, right? I say, you know, this will be our 10th floor. And we'll just, like, go ahead and leave after this and see how many tokens we get. Because I don't know how many enemies are going to be on this floor, and obviously if we get 5 order lamps on the next floor, then our whole run is shot. So, it's probably like one of those things too where like there's a little bit of gambling involved. It's like, well, you know, if I just get a run where I did 12 floors, you know, oh, I could get all the tokens I need still. It's just like, nah, bro, just do 2 runs of 10, or 1 run of 10, 1 run of 5. Come on, man. Tell you what though, after this recording, I am totally gonna fucking go the fuck to sleep, because it's like almost 2 AM now, and last couple of nights I've worked day shift, and so like my schedule is basically I work evenings Sunday through Tuesday, and then I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, and then I work Friday, Saturday mornings for my boss. Essentially, I do my boss's job on Friday and Saturday because they're real easy days. That like her job is very minimal on those days, and like I can handle all of her minimal duties. They're not very difficult, as you would expect. And so on Saturday nights I can stay up late, and this is Saturday night, and but I don't get a lot of sleep on like Thursday night, right? Like, because I stay up late with my fiance, and then like she has her own desires and like never wants me to go and all that. You know, it's nice to have a fan. I'm about to tell her no most of the time, so I just stay up late and eat the sleep loss. And then same thing Friday night. Like usually I can convince her to let me go to bed a little bit early on Friday nights, but not by much. But I get a little more sleep Friday night, and then I stay up super late Saturday night because I get to sleep in on Sunday morning. Okay, so for 10 floors, starting on floor 96, we got 4,345 tokens. And of course, that actually means, since we spent 1,900 tokens to get that, that means that we actually only made, 2445? Still pretty good, but we need 150,000. So, what's actually ideal is, instead of trying to do this alone, I should probably yell and shout for people to join up with me, because we'll all get tokens, but chances are somebody with a dual box or something with a throwaway character will be like, oh yeah, I'll team up with you. And then like we both go in on blue mage and we just, like, until we hit a lamp floor, we have the potential of doing a run where we, just get like 30 floors done, like do 1 floor a minute or something. Now that's probably like some sort of record. We'll say 20 floors, like double what we just did, But even if we had to do it alone, right? Like, it's not that bad. Like, I mean, I don't know how much we would get for 10 floors starting from floor 1. I assume we would at least get 1,500. With no potential loss, right? Like, the thing is, it's a risk reward scenario. If we start from floor 96, we get more tokens if we do more than 5 floors or whatever. But if we somehow fail, like if we disconnect, or if we just time out, we lose tokens. So, oh, look at that. We have 5,000 tokens. We need 145,000 tokens. It'll be a while between that and the Alexandrite. And then there's the whole thing about the Zinni Notorious Monsters, like we still have to go through Sanraku's whole thing, and we won't have any trouble killing those these days with master levels and trusts, but it's time consuming, and then I think they're not even a 100% drop rate for their the item we need from them, and we need an item each of the tier 4 Z&Ms, so that'll be a whole thing. But hey, it's content to show off, and while I won't be able to show it off all in order sequentially or at once or anything, I think it'll be worth going for and showing eventually. So anyway, I think I've rambled on at you long enough, and just want to say thanks for watching, stay safe, and have a great day. And hopefully next time I see you, I have a Sakura breastplate, and everything's going good. So have a good one.